welcome. You're watching NDTV Profit. I am Mahima Vajrajani. Well, we are in conversation with a very interesting company today, which is Associated Alcohol Breweries Limited. And we have with us Mr. Anshuman Kedia and Vedant Kedia. Both of them belong to the promoter group. Anshuman is also the CEO and whole-time director. Welcome to NDTV Profit to both you gentlemen. My first question to you is that, you are coming up with a greenfield project in Indore, and that will be based basically for your single malt production.
Right.
So can you give us more idea as to how are your plans with respect to that? How much capex are you doing for that? And how will the entire process be like selling, and what kind of revenues are you expecting from that?
Yeah, so basically we are coming up with a greenfield malt spirit plant. We are coming up with a capacity of 6 KL, expandable to 12 KL, and eventually the long-term vision of the company is to launch our own single malt. As now Indian single malts are doing really well, and we want to come up with our own single malt to show our expertise in the liquor manufacturing. So this facility we will sell fresh malt, we will sell some aged malt, and eventually we will save some aged some malt for our own single malt. And on the capex front, we've done a capex of about 70 crores ballpark in the plant as well as the maturation facility, and we expect this business to grow quite well.
Okay, and when do you expect this to kick off, first thing, and how much will this aid your revenues and margins?
Yeah, so the plant is already underway. We expect to commission the plant in about 6-7 months time. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the spirit will age for 3 to 5 years depending on what we want to sell.
Okay.
This will definitely be one of our most premium products.
Okay.
So hard to give a number right now, but our margins will definitely go up.
Right. So since you mentioned, this will be one of your premium products, what kind of trends are you observing? Because, the entire Alcobev segment, we've been constantly seeing that the premium segment is taking over the entire space. The premium segment is growing faster as compared to the alcohol, which is, less than 1,000 rupees. So what kind of trends are you observing in the industry, and how do you plan to leverage that?
So India as a whole is growing, right? That means people have more disposable income,
right,
and people want the opportunity to try more things, try premium spirits, and more than that, have better experiences. So that's why we see the entire industry as a whole moving towards premium side of things. Someone who used to drink in the popular segment is moving up a category, and so on and so forth. And the different trends we see is definitely Indian single malts have picked up recently. Earlier it used to be Japanese whiskies used to be really popular. Nowadays India is getting the fame and the respect for the quality it can deliver. So we definitely see a bright future for Indian single malts, not just in the country but also abroad.
Right. My next question is on the financial side of things. Your margins have taken a hit. And, so I want to understand that this has been for FY24. But going forward in FY25, or maybe let's say from a long-term perspective, where do you see your margins going, and what will be the levers for these margins?
So basically, in the past year, our margins have taken a hit because of the increase in the raw material prices, mainly due to the increase in grain and glass prices. Going forward, I don't expect the prices to go up from here. So also our margins will improve in the future because we have taken price hikes in quite a few states where we supply premium brands. So coming couple of years or 3-4 years, we see our margins increasing, and also the overall volume of our proprietary brands increasing.
Can you give me a ballpark figure as to where you see your margins going at?
So almost around 15 to 18%
okay,
in our own IMFL brands.
Got it.
So right now about 15% of our overall revenue comes from our own brands.
Right.
Our target is to double that in the next 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
And that's where the margin increase will come from.
Okay, that's very interesting. Now I want to understand that you're also into ethanol production as well, and that is almost 40% of your capacity as of now, right? So I want to understand that what part of revenue comes from that ethanol, and how do you plan to grow that? Are you planning to grow that? Because we plan to India has big plans for ethanol blending. So what are your plans with respect to that, and how do you plan to grow that?
So basically, our ethanol plant commissioned in January 24. Right now in Q1, we will see the full capacity utilization. So we'll see the full revenue coming from the ethanol plant. Basically, that business is on auto mode.
Right.
You manufacture, the plant is running on 100% capacity, and we are supplying to OMCs. So whatever gets manufactured directly gets supplied to the OMCs. So we are expecting with a full year of operations about 300 crores revenue from ethanol, and about 8-9% margin
Right.
on that ethanol business.
But coming to your question, the plan is not to grow the ethanol segment.
Okay.
The plan is to grow our proprietary brands. So
Okay.
we definitely are looking at growing our ENA capacity.
Okay.
We're looking at setting up a bottling plant as well as a distillery in UP. We see UP as being a major state coming up in the next few years. So we plan to have a capex of 150-200 crores.
Got it. Got it. So UP is one area of focus. Are there any other geographies that you're planning to expand in going forward?
So this year we're looking at Maharashtra, Goa, and also West Bengal and Northeast.
Okay. And from a government perspective, I want to understand as to what are the kind of tailwinds that the entire sector is facing as of now, and what are you expecting going forward? Also with respect to the budget that is coming in July, what are your expectations from that?
So now I feel like the industry on a whole is moving towards being more progressive. For example, in UP, this is the first time where we are seeing so we started our land acquisition for the capex in UP. So this is the first time in my career that I have seen a department following up with the company to make the investment. So I personally see a big shift in the mindset of the government. So that's a very positive sign for the country. We all know that how regulated the liquor segment is in India. So this is a very welcome step in the whole scheme of the picture. Yeah.
Got it. And lastly, your expectations from this budget in terms of any benefits to your sector, or what are you expecting overall?
So basically, honestly, we don't have a lot of expectations. We see the government helping us to procure grain. That's the biggest help the government could do for the companies, as their focus is on ethanol as well. So there's a push for the government to ramp up the production of grain as well as availability of grain to distillers like us at a reasonable price, because for us, if we can get efficient grain buying, it comes down to our profitability. So that's what we expect in the budget, that somehow the government would help us in procuring grain.
Yeah. And since alcohol is a state subject, it will depend on state to state.
Got it.
But we hope for the best.
Got it. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking out time and speaking with us at NDTV Profit and sharing those insights with us.
Pleasure.
Good talking to you too.
Thank you.